Okay, I believe we should be live now. Hello, how's it going, everyone? My name is Mitchell Mander, and welcome to my live stream. Today we're going to be talking about Pokemon Horizons Episode 95. The reintroduction of Sango and Onyx, after a year, since the last time Liko and Roy battled them. So, yeah, we'll be doing that in today's live discussion. So if you're someone that's brand new here and you're kind of coming across this for the first time, whether it's during the stream or post-stream, because I leave these live streams up, as like a video, I guess, if you want to call it. But, yeah, I mean, it pretty much is at that point. But anyway, that's besides the point. If you're someone that's new and you're coming across this for the first time, that's kind of what we do here. I usually give it about maybe 5 to 10 minutes for people to start showing up and coming in the chat and, saying hi and stuff. But after that point, I'll give a brief summary of the episode. I'll assign a rating to the episode based on what I thought about it. And then I usually hand it over to the chat. I usually go through the chat because by that point I usually have a lot to chat to catch up with. And then, yeah. After that point, we just go from there. We'll just talk about various different things, what we thought about the episode, the preview for the next episode, what we think is probably happening next. And yeah, we usually have a pretty good time here. So this is something that you'd be interested in checking out regularly. You should totally subscribe to the channel. We usually do this on Saturdays at 12 p.m. Eastern Time Zone. Around noon, pretty much. Although the last 2 months it's been kind of like all over the place due to various personal issues going on in my life. But we're back on track now, so we're good. We're back to normal time. So yeah. Also, the music you hear in the background comes from a separate stream, the Video Game Study Lounge. I got a link in the description for it. It comes from Game Chops, their Video Game Study Lounge. Lo-fi stream. Pretty much lo-fi remixes of video game music along with some originals in there as well, using the sound bites from various different video games. There's just a sound font in general. It's pretty cool. You should check it out sometime. I listen to it a lot. And be on the lookout for some Pokemon lo-fi remixes too. Interesting enough, the other day I think it was like a week ago, I was just kind of listening to it while I was working, and a lo-fi remix of the Pokemon Gotta Catch 'Em All theme, the original opening for the English dub for Pokemon. There's a lo-fi remix for it that showed up on here, and it was pretty neat. So yeah, be on the lookout for that as you are listening to the stream. So yeah, you can check that out. Preferably check it out after my stream's done, just because I'd like as many people to be here as possible. We do have 7 people here. What's up, y'all? And oh my gosh, are we at 8 likes already? Thank you so much. 2 more likes to 10. Can we get to 10 before I start my summary? Can we do it? Yo, what's up, Thomas? Beast Mode God 1. Hey, what's up? Great Expedition episode and showing off the strong sphere. Yeah. What's up, Steven? Do you think Lance will come back? I'm very unsure about that. I would say the chances of him showing up in the episode are low. Best bet is a cameo. Since I believe the bikers seem to be a big Lance fan, so maybe we'll get like a little picture of him or something in like Liko and Roy's mind or something like that. I'm surprised someone gave this episode a rating 5 or lower. Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, really? That was like the first vote too. When I turned this on, that was the first vote, and I was like, really now? So if you're someone that rated this episode lower than 5, if you're brave enough, come out and to the chat and tell us why you didn't like this episode. I'm very curious because, in my opinion, this was a solid episode. Okay. Well, we're at the 5-minute mark, so I'm going to go ahead and start giving my thoughts on the episode. I'll stop at the chat right there on Thomas's comment, and then I'll resume when I'm done with my whole summary of the episode. So bear with me as I go through the summary now. Alright, for episode 95 of Pokemon Horizons, a follow-up to the previous episode where Liko and Roy discovered the Exceed building next to that forest that they were in with the Vileplume that was raging on. They decided to do some investigating as they find out it's an Exceed testing center. And they're going to be testing out strong spheres. And there's a bunch of people that are showing up to see said strong spheres. So there's going to be a demonstration going on. So, yeah, Liko and Roy go to investigate. And Ult happens to show up there coming from a bus. He got there via bus. And he's a bit moody today. And Roy's wondering what's going on with him. So they decide to go attend the event. So yeah, they're showing off the strong spheres and having some people come up and participate. And this one was the biggest surprise for me. So one of the participants was Dot's doppelganger from the Terrestrial debut arc. Yeah, that girl. Like those characters that were Liko, Roy, and Dot's the doppelgangers. I was not expecting them to be recurring characters. I expect them to be one and done characters. Now the other two, they showed up towards the end of Terrestrial Course. The Terrestrial Course, but I was not expecting one of them to show up here in this episode. That was pretty unexpected. That's cool. So that's cool. She has a swan on. She basically was like, yeah, I can't beat any of my friends. I'm just too weak. So they have her use the strong sphere on our Pokemon to go up against a trainer with an Electivire, which I think is just like a employee there. And yeah, immediately uses the strong sphere and immediately causes her Swanna to power up and literally uses water gun on an Electivire and defeats it. They even say that the water gun was essentially the equivalent of a hydro pump thanks to the strong sphere, which is crazy going up against a Pokemon that it is very much disadvantaged against, and it one-shotted it. Goes to show you how powerful Recurium makes Pokemon. Literally, it can take weak Pokemon and make them like super powerful. Liko and Roy try to approach Ult, but he's just having a bad day, so he doesn't really want to have a good conversation with Roy at the moment. But anyways, Sango and Onyx make their first appearance in the time skip. And it seems like they got a lot of fans. Sango has a lot of simps, including one guy in the crowd, a little bit of a creep. He's a little bit too much a fan of Sango. And then Onyx has some admirers too. So yeah, the Explorers are, they have a really good public reception just because of everything that went down to Rakura, and they and Spinel basically spinning everything. Like the Rising Volt Tacklers are the bad guys, we're the good guys. So like they have the public's support. And Sango and Onyx end up recognizing that Liko and Roy are in the crowd, so they're the ones that are called up to demonstrate against them. But they refuse to use the strong spheres, as they know that using them is going to cause their Pokemon a lot of harm, and they don't want that. They already know what's going on. They also notice that the strong spheres look very similar to the spheres that the Recurium spheres that Spinel used back in episode 89. So this is basically just an off branch of it. Probably just like a singular one, because that one was like connected to a bunch of Recurium spheres. So this they basically developed it and condensed it down to a single ball. And each one has Recurium in it. So they realize that obviously there's more Recurium. There's probably more Recurium back in Rakura that needs to be dealt with. But they can't get there because Exceed basically got the place off limits. So what are they going to do? Especially since the public is against them. They'll probably be arrested on site if they tried to do anything. Anyways, Liko and Roy have their first battle with Sango and Onyx after a year, and they even note that without the strong spheres, they've actually gotten stronger in the 1 year. So, they're not the only ones that have gotten stronger. So, but despite struggling a little bit, they do seem to do pretty well against Sango and Onyx until Sango and Onyx use the strong spheres on their Pokemon, which immediately defeat Meowscarada and Crocodile end up getting defeated pretty easily. And that should be the end of the battle, but they're not going to let them go. They actually still keep attacking their fainted Pokemon while they are, well, fainted. Which, obviously, at that point, you don't want to keep pushing that. Otherwise, yeah, you know what will happen if they keep going. But anyways, Captain Pikachu steps in and is holding them off, and that's when Ult, who happened to show up and was holding one of the strong spheres and kind of looking at it, steps in and actually saves the day. He actually rejects the strong sphere, calling it lame, and he actually doesn't like the explorers, from what he can tell, because he knows that Liko and Roy, deep down, are good people. And he's witnessed Pokemon going crazy in the wild, so it's pretty clear that Ult's like, yeah, this is not right. What you guys are doing is wrong. And, like, the whole public is, like, backing the explorers, despite what they're doing, despite the fact that they were trying to take out Liko and Roy's Pokemon after they fainted. I'm surprised the public didn't, like, get concerned there, but anyways, Ult steps in, he helps out. Eventually, Sango loses her cool and has Glalie self-destruct, and they have to close off the event. They're like, yep, we're done. And everyone's like, wow, that was a crazy turn of events, but the explorers are so cool! But anyways, Liko and Roy manage to get out of there with Ult. And Ult ends up deciding to join the crew, as he's like, well, you guys are what are you guys going to do without me? So I'm joining you guys. So yep, Ult has officially joined the crew. I thought he was going to be kind of a character that would like be left behind every episode, but well, it seems like that's done now. So yeah. Anyways, we have a hint for the next episode, the Dragon's Den over in Blackthorn City, which means that this place that we're at, this anime original area, is definitely in Johto. I mean, it was pretty obvious that we were in Johto, but well, that was official confirmation right there. But anyways, I thought this episode was pretty good. It was a good reintroduction to Sango and Onyx. It's an introduction to the fact that, you know, it further emphasizes that the public is just backing the explorers. And Sango and Onyx are, like, famous now. Everybody, Sango's got some weird simps. And she is definitely embracing it. It's also pretty clear that they've pretty much gone along with Spinel's plan. He's definitely manipulated them. Because at first they were definitely not on board with what was going on back in episode 89. But it's pretty clear in that time, as they've gained fame and adoration by the public, yeah, they're definitely still, you know, bad guys. And Spinel's got them under his, you know, finger, or whatever you want to call it, wrapped around his finger. So, yeah, maybe they'll turn on him at some point. I feel like there's going to be a rift between them at some point, but right now, Sango's enjoying her newfound fame. So I thought that was pretty neat. I thought this was actually, for me, this is the best episode for Ult, because before this, Ult was a character that's I've had mixed feelings on. I didn't want to give up on him, but he wasn't presented the best in the series. But this episode, we delved a little bit into, you know, not like his character, but like his thoughts on like everything that's going on. And he definitely had a little bit of development here where he realized that he could tell that the explorers are not the good guys. This is his first impression of the explorers, and he's automatically like, yeah, I'm on Liko and Roy's side. Also, does Ult have a little crush on Liko, and he's just being a tsundere over here? That seems like that might be the case. So that's going to be interesting to see if that gets touched upon as this arc goes on. Maybe he's a little jealous of Roy. But anyways, yeah, I really liked how Ult was portrayed in this episode. He did seem a little moody at times, so we'll still see that side of him. But now that he's part of the crew, he's I guess we'll get to see how he develops as the series goes on. So yeah, he was portrayed really well in this episode. I thought that was good. That was a good thing for his character. I was also still pretty surprised that we got a character from the doppelganger, Liko, Roy, and Dot's doppelgangers showing up here. That was very unexpected. So I gotta give credit to Horizons. They're bringing characters you think would just be like, characters of the day, and they're bringing them back. And it was done to kind of progress the story and kind of show that, hey, it's trying to normalize the strong. Exceed is trying to normalize the strong spheres into the general public. That way, they become hooked on it, and they'll be on their side. So Liko and Roy definitely have a major uphill battle if they want to get the general public back on the Rising Volt Tackler side. So I really like where the story is heading. It's giving Liko and Roy a massive uphill battle. It's going to be definitely a struggle for them to win the public's favor of them. So I'm very curious to see where we go from here as these episodes go on. I like it. Nothing really too bad in the episode. I mean, them losing is nothing to be mad about. It makes sense since they refuse to use the strong spheres on their Pokemon, since they know that the problems with it. They even point out, hey guys, your Pokemon won't even look at you. Don't you see the pain in their eyes? And even when Dot's doppelganger got out of that battle, her Pokemon was super exhausted after utilizing that. And Liko and Roy are kind of trying to be like, hey, you might want to take care of your Pokemon. But there's not really much they can do. They can't be like, hey, these are the real bad guys. We're the good guys. Because she's going to be like, what do you mean? Because they can't just go out and say that. So they're going to have to be very subtle with how they, reveal to the public that the strong spheres are not good. I think at some point the public's going to realize that they're bad news. But yeah. For me, this episode is probably like a 7 or 8. I think this was a pretty standard episode. It was pretty good, in my opinion. It was another solid episode. So far, this arc has been pretty good. Only one episode has been kind of just okay so far. So we're good. We're doing good so far, this arc, in my opinion. Alright, time to get caught back up on the chat. So Sharon's here. Hey, Sharon. 9 out of 10 for me. Gotcha. Steven, will you do a face reveal? Probably not. I've said this before in the past, but I'm not really comfortable with showing myself on the internet. I kind of like my privacy. It's just a preference. I know people have been wanting me to do it, but I'm sorry, guys, I can't. It's my choice at the end of the day, and my choice right now is no. They do. I have things to say. Well, go right ahead, Sharon. Yep, Alt is an official member now. Yep. Alt is an official member now. Yep. Do y'all think Liko is going to catch Dratini next episode? I'm not sure. Also, what's up, Dire Tance? I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name, but welcome in. I probably did, sorry. Unless it's Diretrance or Diretance. Yeah. Anyways. She should be a great addition to her team. I guess we'll see what happens. Doesn't feel like a capture episode though. To me at least. 8 out of 10? I thought you said it was 9 out of 10, Sharon. You said 9 earlier. Did you change it to 8 now? Yeah, what's up, Tyna Jones? Yeah, we will see dark moments for some episodes more. I felt bad on Liko and Roy at this point. A little while when we got back. We go back fun side again. Yeah, next week's episode definitely looks like a more, not like chill episode, but definitely more lighthearted. It feels more gaggy for next week's episode. Because you got characters that are like, oh, we're the Dragon Clan gang or whatever. We like Lanced. He's our hero. He's so strong. What about his sister? No, Lance. We only care about Lanced. So we have Lance cosplayers in the next episode, yep. So we have Team Rocket Pokemon in next week's episode, Arbok and Viper giving me Team Rocket vibes. Yep. Pretty much. Without Team Rocket, though. What are they doing? What they are doing is a crime, forcing your Pokemon to become stronger with artificial machinery. Yep, but Exceed is basically camouflaging it and being like, "Oh no, this is a great thing," because the general public doesn't really know what Requiem is. They don't know. The only ones that are in the know are like the Rising Volt Tacklers, you know, the Explorers, and maybe a select few others, if even. Like Lico's grandma. So, like, the general public has no idea what Requiem is. They don't know. All they know is that there's a place called Recua that's off limits now. And Exceed is basically the good guys, but the Rising Volt Tacklers are these bad people that caused all kinds of problems. But there's plenty of people. There's people out there that know that the Rising Volt Tacklers aren't bad. Obviously, the families of the characters, various characters they've met over time. Obviously, the Orange Academy and Neurologic Academy and Paldea, a lot of the staff there, along with the gym leaders, are aware of the Explorers and that the Rising Volt Tacklers are the good guys. So yeah, they have allies. It's just the general public is siding with the Exceed for now, so it's definitely an uphill battle for Lico Roy to regain the public's trust and show that Exceed are the bad guys and we're the good guys. Your Pokemon should become stronger with love and hard work naturally for your Pokemon. Well, yeah, that's the point, but Exceed is trying to change things because we're here to develop Pokemon and, you know, bring them closer to humanity. Even if that means, going through some methods that are not so great or ethical. But they don't know it. Exactly how it's been for 20 plus years. Will you make a vid where you predict what Pokemon Lico Roy dot? No. I'm gonna just say no. Just because, let's just be real, it's kind of like practically impossible to predict if they're gonna catch any more Pokemon at this point. I would like Lico and Dot to catch a new Pokemon, at least one more. But I'm not sure. When it comes to my videos, obviously, I don't make as much videos as I used to. But, I will do videos here and there, obviously, for, like, the upcoming episode summaries and stuff. I still plan on making a Rayquaza Rising arc review at some point. I'm hoping I can finish that by the end of this month, if not next month. It will come when it's ready. That's all I'll say. It's not something that can be done in a day. It's going to take some time to do. I also have another joke video in me that I want to make here soon. Although I've been saying that for like 3 months now. So, whenever I'm in the mood for it, you'll be getting that Arvin video. I just hope that people outside of my subscriber base don't take it seriously and then come after me and start yelling at me, because that's pretty much what happens 90% of the time whenever I do my joke videos. People can't take it seriously and then they just lash out at me and say I'm literally dumb, despite the fact that the joke went over their heads. Just saying. My only gripe with this episode is that the Explorers kept attacking even after Crocodile and Masquerada were knocked out. This was a bad PR move, but the crowd had no issue with it. Made no. Yeah, that was the only thing that bothered me. It was like nobody had an issue with that, and even Agate was like chastising them, like, you guys have to be like role models for the general public. Like, what are you doing? You can't do this. I guess they're just like, I think they maybe weren't. I don't know how to describe it, but maybe they didn't think it was like they were going too far. You know how the public's reception of them has been so warped that they're just like, Like, oh, they're great people. And they probably weren't. It probably wasn't just connecting with some people. They're just so like. They're probably just like, oh, what's going on? What's going on next? It's just a spectacle, you know. So maybe that could explain why, you know, people weren't freaking out and being like, hey, you know, this is kind of wrong. Ult was the one that actually stepped in and was like, hey, you guys are like taking things too far. And that's mainly because Ult knows Liko and Roy. And it spent a lot of time training with Roy in particular, so he knows that Roy ain't a bad person. He sees what they're doing, and he sees what the Explorer's doing here is wrong. He was able to rationalize that. However, the general public and a lot of people don't know anything about Liko and Roy. They know a lot about Exceed, though, so I think that maybe they were just like, oh, well, maybe this is just part of the act or something like that, or just part of the performance. Didn't really think anything of it, which is why Aga had to be like, hey, you guys can't do that again. You do that again, and, you know, you might sway the public's opinion of you, so. Also, by the way, we saw Agate for the first time in the time skip, and she barely looks any different. Granted, Sango and Onyx don't look too different. Sango's outfit's a little different, and she's just embracing her new celebrity status. So did you like the old Pokemon? I look more over now. Did you look like the old Pokemon I look over now? I'm not sure what you mean, Sharon. Are you talking about like maybe the design in the series versus like the original? It's not something I normally pay attention to, not gonna lie, so I don't have an opinion on that, sorry. Eggs. Last thing the Explorers wanted to do is something unethical out in the open. Yeah, that's why Agate again had to chastise them. Like, yeah, you can't do that again. Sango, you're gonna literally ruin your reputation, and people are gonna see you for the little gremlin you are if you screw up again. That's why they had to block off the self-destruct. The Requiem gave Garcanical gyro ball like move, yeah. It makes them just way stronger and just powers up their already existing moves and makes them way stronger. We saw that water gun be the equivalent of a hydro pump that hit an electric Pokemon and one-shotted it, by the way. Water gun. Hello. What? Isn't that crazy? That's a character that was like is not a very strong trainer. She says she just loses all the time to her friends, and her friends aren't even that strong either. And here she is, gets the strong sphere, uses water gun literally once on Electivire and one-shots it. It's crazy. That's how strong the Requiem makes Pokemon. It takes weak Pokemon and just pumps them up to a level 100 instantly. For a brief time. And it gave Glalie like a mystery-like terrain. Yep, it did. Alt will Sympholico. Yeah, I think that's the implication here, is that he has a small little crush on Liko, and he's a little jealous that Roy's the one that's hanging out with her. So I want to see if that's like if there's anything there further. What about for Megas? I don't know. We'll have to get Liko and Dot a Pokemon that can Mega Evolve, so it's kind of hard to say right now. Liko does seem interested in Mega Evolution, so there's still a chance, but then we'd have to go to Kalos, and at some point Liko would have to get herself a Mega Stone. Or something. So this episode makes you like Ult a bit more as a character? Yeah, I think he was portrayed pretty good in this episode. It shows that there's more to his character, Sharon. If he was a one-note character, he would have the strong spheres are great. But he can see, he was able to see through what the explorers were doing. So that's a good thing. And that's consistent, because was battling alongside Roy with a bunch of Pokemon that were influenced by Recruium, so he knows. He knows there's something fishy going on here, so he's siding with Liko and Roy, so that's a good thing for his character. He might be a bit moody and he's still impulsive, but it shows that deep down, he has morals, I guess. If they keep using those much longer, Pokemon will die without any treatment, and I'll hope those two will realize it soon before it's too late. I hope that, because that's the thing is, it's going to exhaust their Pokemon. It's going to cause problems. So, I think we're going to see the effects of the Recurium in the long run. The Explorers are celebrities now. Yeah, pretty much. Sango is definitely enjoying her time and her celebrity status. Her queen. She's in her queen phase now. I don't think Ult has a crush on Liko. Roy is just teasing him about his awkwardness around girls. Could be, yeah. Fair point. Yep, trying to act famous as villains. Yep. Water gun one-shotting Electivire. Imagine a legendary used the Recurium. Oh, good lord. We kind of saw a little bit of that in the episode 89, because, Galarian Moltres and Gouging Fire were, affected by the Recurium, and they were fighting the hero Pokemon were fighting each other. So we did see a little tease of that, but yeah, that's kind of a scary thought. They could probably cause mass destruction with if they're on Recurium. They have 5 out of the 6 heroes. They should try it. Oh boy, and I think Spinel's keeping them in safe. It's keeping them stored away just so that he can ensure his master plan happens. He can use them later on. Like drugging on your Pokemon and seeing pain, that's downright very wrong. Yeah. Hopefully the general public realizes it's not good. Do you think Spinel will use Recurring Spears on the hero Pokemon? I mean, he did already. That's why he has them. But he'll probably use it again, if that's what you mean. He'll probably use it again. So he has them under his control. And he can use them if he needs them. Another plot hole is that if the Strong Spheres are bad, won't people who buy them eventually notice and file complaints and lawsuits? Then the bad reputation of the Strong Spheres will go viral. Well, I mean, they're clearly introducing Strong Spheres. That's why it's a testing center. They're demonstrating it. They're doing it to try to get the public, behind it. I feel like there's going to come a point where that does become an issue, and some people start to realize there's problems with it. And when that happens, that's probably when Spinel is going to enact whatever his plan is to take over the world, basically. Maybe. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? But yeah, there's a possibility that things are going to go wrong with them. But this is clearly it's not. It's either a brand new product or it's about ready to be a product that hits the market kind of thing. Because that's why they're testing it out here, to see what the public thinks. And so they're just having a select amount of people come out to basically see for themselves the Strong Spheres and them being demonstrated in battle. Oh, we'll still have his moments where he acts a bit dumb and silly. Yeah, I don't expect that to change, but I'm just saying for this episode, he clearly could see through what the Explorers were doing. Liko and Roy don't need to expose the Explorers. They will expose themselves. Oof. Comic relief character. Hey, we do it. We do it on the team. Yep, that's usually how it goes. Macadamia Nut? I wonder if people will compare them trying to use the Mega Evolution since it's been shown to hurt as well. Maybe. Also, welcome in. How are you doing today? They need some clever writing down the line to account for this plot hole. Well, we'll see. Again, we're still pretty early into this arc, so we'll see what happens later on. Maybe that girl, Dot's doppelganger will actually realize that there's something wrong with the Strong Sphere, because her Pokemon was definitely affected by it after that battle. So maybe after a while she'll realize that it's, you know, causing a lot of harm. I could see Dot using Nidothing to spread the truth. That is a good way to do it. Maybe get Iona on board. Maybe get her on board to, you know, do something about it. I could see that happening. By the way, hey, what's going on, everyone? We got like 16 people here. Welcome, everyone. We got 12 likes. That's awesome. We're over 10. So thank you so much. Can we get to 15 likes? Maybe 16 since we have 16 people here. Also vote in the poll if you haven't. Let me know what you thought of this episode. So far 10-9 is winning the poll, 62% for 16 votes. So yeah, go ahead and do both of those things if you haven't already. If you've already liked the video or stream and voted in the poll, you've done your part. In the anime canon, Mega Evolution does not cause pain or harm. We don't really see that too often. The one time that you kind of see there was a problem was like Karina's Lucario, but yeah. Maybe Dot will live stream that recruiting spears are bad. Yeah, pretty much what was said earlier. Well, you can't really do it right now. You gotta wait until there's a problem that arises. That's when you jump on stuff. if you're in this streamer YouTuber sphere, yeah, when the moment something happens, you jump on it, you know, because it's a hot topic. And certainly in that moment, with things going awry with the strong spears, that would be a hot topic. That's a good time for Dot to be like, well, time for me to spread the good news that the explorers are the bad guys and we're the good guys. Something like that. Let's just hope Gen 10 comes to imagine the use of a mechanic god. Use as a mechanic god, I hope not. Yeah, we'll see how Gen 10 is. Hopefully I like Gen 10. They're giving it an extra year, so it better be good. Coffeezilla will expose them. Yep. We'll get the Pokemon equivalent of Coffeezilla to show up and co-stream with a Nidothing, and they have a little discussion, an hour-long discussion about how the strong spheres have caused all kinds of issues across the Pokemon world, and Exceed is getting all these complaints. Can't wait to see that thumbnail. Mega Evolved Pokemon have Pokedex entries that are disturbing, yeah. Like Mega Glalie jaw breaks, oof. That sucks, man. That's in the games, not in the anime. In the anime it helps Pokemon, yep. Imagine if she used Demon Pudding with the recurring series. Oh boy. We might actually see that at some point. It would make it really strong. Maybe, because like the thing is in the episode, another thing to point out again is that Rico and Roy noticed that Sango and Onyx have gotten stronger in the 1 year. So before the time skip, we know that Screamtail was very green when it comes to Pokemon battles. Even though it is strong, it's still kind of green. So I'm wondering if Sango trained it up in that 1 year. And now it's more competent. Yeah, it makes them stronger in the anime. Yep. Demon Pudding with a Misty Explosion. Ooh, boy. Demon Pudding needs Misty Explosion. With Misty... now it needs it. Okay. Okay, well, you know, it's kind of crazy. It still blows my mind how fast these streams go. Already 40 minutes into the stream. Isn't that crazy? What's up, y'all? Again, I just want to say, if you haven't liked the stream already, go ahead and do so and vote in the poll. Let's try to get the 15 likes here. Got 3 more to 15 likes. Can we do it? Can we do it? Yes, we can. Okay, well, we've talked pretty thoroughly about this episode, guys. So now I'll ask you guys what you think about the preview for episode 96. We're going to Blackthorn City. Do you guys have probably some predictions on what you expect for the episode? I know some people think that Liko might catch Dratini. Do you have any other predictions? You think that maybe we'll get like a Lance cameo, not like a full-on appearance, but maybe we'll get like an image of him or something? Let me know in the chat. Oh, hey, what's up? What's up, Josh? Do you think the doppelgangers split up? I don't think so. Dot's doppelganger probably just, came over here for the demonstration. Well, it seems like she said, like, hey. All she said in the episode was, like, she can't beat her friends in a Pokemon battle. So it tells me that they're still friends. She probably just came to this alone or something. So with next week's episode, is it a filler-like episode? I'm getting to the point where I'm like, yeah, these episodes are not filler. It's pretty clear that these episodes that are more chill. It does seem like it's more chill and gaggy, like it would be filler-esque. But, we thought that episode with the Nidothing simp was a filler episode, but it really wasn't. Not to mention she shows up in the opening. But we're talking about the Black Rayquaza again, so hopefully in this time around, I hope that maybe they have actual information on it. And that can lead us to trying to find Rayquaza again. Instead of it, I spread that online. That was the one pet peeve I had with that episode. Is that it felt like a filler episode because it's like, well, we didn't really accomplish much besides gaining someone's trust in the Rising Volt tacklers. I do think that this episode could do the same thing where this biker gang actually is on the side of the Rising Volt tacklers at the end of it or something. I don't know. It does feel more gaggy, so I don't know if this is an episode I'm going to take like 100% serious. It's just interesting that we're in Blackthorn City. I'm like, we're at a specific location because like these last 2 episodes have taken place in an anime original town and forest and Exceed building. But it's clear we're in Johto because the camera panned in on the Dragon's Den. So we're clearly in Johto. It's just a anime original town nearby. I think maybe it's a reference to the bike legendaries. Also, Salazar using sled tail move. Ooh. I do find it funny that we're in Johto and they're using Paldean Pokemon here. That's kind of funny. Kid Angie, hi. Kid Angie 17, welcome in. I'm happy. Alt is joining Liko, Roy, and Dot. I kind of have feelings for Liko. And kind of has feelings for Liko. Kind of funny. Yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting. I suspected there's something there. Could be just him just being bashful around girls like Thomas said earlier, but I noticed a little bit of a blush there when he was interacting with Liko, so I don't really get into the shipping stuff when it comes to Pokemon. I think it's alright, but just keep in mind these are young characters. And there's no reason to, start a war over them, which is what people tend to do when it comes to ships. Over fictional characters, no less. There's no reason to, get into a big war with someone over ships. Just enjoy enjoy your enjoy the series, enjoy your ship, and you know, just try to be normal. The upcoming group is like the new Team Rocket. I feel. Oh, you mean in that episode? Kinda. I mean, it kind of feels more like that biker gang from the original series. It's kind of the vibe I'm getting there, along with some gaggy moments too, which is common with Team Rocket, so I can see the comparison a little bit. Like that lady with the Arbok doing the weird dance. Yeah. I feel like this dragon biker gang will only be in one episode. More than likely, yeah. What do you think of Alt getting a crush on Liko? Not really too much. I think it's just it's a little moment in the episode. It was the first thing he noticed when he was with Roy. He's like, why is Roy with a girl? I always thought he was just a little jealous that Roy was giving his attention to someone else rather than him. But it does seem like he's a little bashful around girls. So, I mean, that's something that's normal for kids that age, Boys that age especially. Might be a little bit on the bashful side. I was a little bit when I was younger too. So, I can relate a little bit. I don't really like shipping, don't worry. Gotcha. Yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at anymore, because, like, especially with some of the ships in Pokemon in general. Specifically a certain one that I won't name that, that fan base, side of the fan base, caused a lot of problems back in the day. Just saying. I was there for that, and I was very much embarrassed with how people were acting back then. I wonder, do actual motorcycles exist though in Pokemon? And you mean in Pokemon? Wasn't there motorcycles in the biker episode, or am I thinking wrong? Or is that just regular bikes? You're making me think back. I haven't watched that episode in eons. Pokemon biker. We're looking this up. Okay, never mind. They have bikes. I don't see them having motorcycles. Actually, you know what, Sharon? You know what? I just thought Officer Jenny has a motorcycle. Yeah, she has a motorcycle. Just confirmed it. So motorcycles do exist in the Pokemon world. Do you think these Salazar trainers will reference Claire and Lance? More than likely Lance, because they kind of already are referencing him. Hold on 1 second, y'all. I do have feelings for someone, a friend I knew from school, so it's common to have feelings for them. Yeah, that's common with everyone, pretty much. Well, almost everyone, yeah. Hey, y'all. I'm just gonna step out for just a quick second. I gotta use the restroom. I will be right back. Go ahead and keep leaving comments in the chat. I'll be right back. Don't you go anywhere. When I come back, I will catch back up in the chat. So I'll be back. Just give me like 2-3 minutes. Alright, y'all, I'm back. Sorry about that. Alrighty, where was I last left off at? I just gotta make a quick message and then I'll be right back to the chat. Okay, where was I last left off at? Like the Pokemon. You mean eggs? You mean gags? Oh, eggs. And the anime used the Pokemon Go egg design now, yeah. It's pretty much become the normalized egg design. They used to have more unique designs of, yeah. They kind of just abandoned the old designs at this point in favor of more modern, a little more generic now though. Why was all acting sus in the opening though? Well, I don't know. It's the opening. Openings can have a slight indication for things to come up. Maybe it's just him being moody. Maybe we just need to have some patience and wait to see if that develops any further. It also could be because he doesn't really have any friends and, you know, that's what he really wants. And he's just being moody and upset. We need to have an episode learning about his backstory and where he came from. We might get that eventually. We'll probably learn a little bit more about him in time. Just gotta, you know, give it some time to develop. This arc has literally only been going on for the last month, so we still got, you know, more episodes to come, so we'll probably get something soon. Like maybe he was bullied by other kids or something. That probably could be, or he just wants to, you know, fit in or something, you know. I mean, that's like, it's a common trope, but, you know, it could work for his character. Like, he seems like he was a loner. Yeah, that's the pretty much the indication I get from his character. He probably was a loner, and he just wants to be accepted by someone, and he sees Roy as someone that, you know, not only he could be accepted by him, but, you know, someone that, you know, he could, you know, battle with his Pokemon or something, you know. That's why he's like, oh, he probably just wants to really just to be friends with Roy and gain his respect or something and show that he is a strong trainer that can stand up with him. Maybe his parents did not give him more attention. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe that could be. I don't know if they would delve into something like that, though. Maybe he was an orphan. No idea. Okay. We're getting on close to the 1 hour mark in the stream. So the floor is yours, guys. Got anything for me? I think Pokemon should do an episode more into heavy subject matter. I mean, they've kind of delved into some, you know, heavy subject matter in the past. I mean, the Litten episode in Sun and Moon. There's that one. Mallow's mom. That was another heavy episode. Like, the Sun and Moon had some pretty heavy episodes. So it's not like they haven't done something like that before. They did a little bit in Journeys, but not as much as Sun and Moon. Or maybe he had a single parent who was not around much. No idea. Maybe an episode about bullying or divorce. I don't know about divorce, but bullying, you might get something there. Okay. Actually surprised Pokefan's not here. It's okay though. Alt needs at least 2 other Pokemon. I imagine he'll get a Pokemon at some point. They have an episode about bullying in the original series, yeah. Like, I could see him being a Dark Ghost trainer. I imagine he'll get another Pokemon at some point. So does Liko, or Roy and Liko. Hold on. The person that mows my lawn is over mowing the lawn, so if you hear that in the background, that's why. I want another full spooky Pokemon episode in the series. They've had little hints in here and there, but we haven't had like a full-on episode. I don't know if the series would do something about like that though. I mean, they've had some gaggy episodes, but I don't know. Another Halloween episode would be nice. I think Alt just wants to show that he's strong and can keep up with everybody. And that's, or anybody. Yeah, that could be too. That's a fair point. I want to see Dot's Tinkaton bash and Metheo's Corviknight. I mean, at this point, I don't really think that we'll see that, but I guess we'll have to see where freaking Metheo's at this point, since he's MIA right now. It as weird as that, or as interesting as that'd be, I can't see Tinkaton doing that to Metheo's Corviknight. And Metheo's not exactly a gaggy character. He's more of a no-nonsense character, so he'd probably get more annoyed than anything. And then immediately want to battle Dot or something. But yeah. Wow, 20 votes and 13 likes. Can we get 2 more likes to 15? If you haven't liked the video already, yeah, you should probably do that. It really helps the channel. But if you've already liked the stream, you have done your part already, so yeah. Do you think Ametheo is researching these the Requiem Spears? He's probably doing some independent research on his own. We'll probably see him using his grandfather's Zygarde at some point. That's kind of what Zur and Konya are doing. Looking for those Zygarde cells that have spread across the planet. I can see Gags with Tinkaton, though. Like, it just bashes everything. Well, yeah, it probably will be like that, but yeah, when it eventually evolves. Do you think Amethio will try to get 100% Zygarde to take down Spinel? My assumption is yes. He's working behind the scenes to expose Spinel. Okay, we need just one more like, I think. One more like and we have 15. Can we do it? Can we do it, y'all? Before the stream ends. Can we do it? Yes, we can. Thanks, Josh. Appreciate it. Spinel uses the hero Pokemon versus 100% Zygarde as a final big battle of the series. I'm kind of... Oh, I see what you mean. Maybe. Then Leroy and Dot and Alt join in too. Also, I feel like Rayquaza will Mega Evolve in that battle. I mean, if he has a Mega Stone, then sure, but we'll see. Okay, guys, we are 1 hour into the stream. Can I get in? These streams usually last about an hour and a half, so we're gonna get into that point. So, if you guys still want to keep chatting, we'll chat for a little bit longer. If you got more things to say in the good old chat. Methio should have a Gallade or Aegislash. Another Pokemon would be kind of neat, but I feel like at this point, if he's gonna be getting Zygarde, that's gonna be the main Pokemon he's gonna have. Maybe showcase a new Mega from ZA. Well, we haven't seen any new ones yet, so that's to be seen. He's done already. Hey guys, I'm gonna take a short break here. I gotta run out. Looks like the guy that mows my lawn is done. So, just hold tight. I'll be back in a couple minutes. Yeah. Go ahead and keep chatting if you want to. Alright, I'm back, y'all. I'm sorry. Took a little bit longer than I was expecting it to. Alright, where was I last left off at? Sorry, y'all. I'm back, though. And we're at 15 likes. Thank you. Appreciate you all. Thank you for your patience. I know we won't be going on too much longer, but I had to go out and take care of that really quickly. For some reason, I could see a ship between Ult and Anne. Interesting. Definitely a possibility. Did you see the Pokedex leak for Gen 10? No. I wouldn't trust it, personally. I still think Liko will get a Chandelure and can Mega Evolve. It is a misunderstood Pokemon that can sense negative feelings, plus it fits with the Saddle Witch and Magician theme that Liko's team has. Could work. Excuse me. I see the vision. Garganico breaking and Glalie having trouble cooling down was effects of the Recruium hurting them. Yeah, that was essentially showcasing that that's eventually going to take its toll on them. I know I just got back, but what else you guys got for me today? Before I go on and get my lunch. Imagine Garganical breaks into many pieces. Oh, I don't think they're going to go that far, but that would not be good. Onyx, what would he use for his Pokemon then? He doesn't have another Pokemon. Wait, doesn't he have a Aerodactyl? Yeah. I guess he would just be stuck with Aerodactyl then, but that's his ride Pokemon. What happens when his ride Pokemon gets taken out? What does he do then? Nothing? So he might be in a little bit of a pickle if he loses his Aerodactyl. Garganical legs break off. Again, I don't think they're gonna go that far. Might be pushing some boundaries there. Like how Sango Mega Evolved Glalie and Sidon or Onyx Mega Evolve Aerodactyl. If they have Megas. If they go that route. I'm still a little skeptical that they're going to go that far into it. We would really need to go to Kalos at some point. Maybe Roy goes back there and is like, this is where I trained for a year. It's nice to know that Liko, Roy, and Alt are a trio moving forward with Dot as tech support. Yep, Dot's going to be in the background for now. I feel like at some point she'll be joining them. Well, we have a solo episode coming up with Dot, so that'll happen. Dot meets Alt in person. Yeah, that's going to happen eventually. What was his alt? What was his alt say? What would Alt say to Dot? I don't know. It's another girl, though. That's going to be an interesting interaction when that comes up. I wonder if he would consider her a tech wizard. Maybe. She is pretty tech savvy compared to everyone else. Alt needs to watch Nidothing streams. Is he a Nidothing fan or nah? We don't know. Do you think Dot was able to hack and record what happened while undetected? You mean during the episode? Is that what you mean? I don't know. Probably not. Probably have to really be careful. It would be kind of useful. She would have been able to kind of record the explorers, you know, doing some pretty bad stuff. That could be used for the big old explorer expose. Expose them to the world. I feel like Roy is going to go deep in thought and how he sees and feels for Liko. I'm gonna be real. Probably wouldn't expect something like that to happen. I mean, he's kind of like Ash in that regard, where he just doesn't really pay attention to that stuff. I'm not really behind like the whole shit between Liko and Roy. And I made that video as like a joke a couple weeks ago, but I kind of just see them as like best friends right now. But who knows? They are a little bit older, so you never know. Roy is actually taller than Liko now, which I find to be kind of interesting. Roy has a crush on Liko. I doubt it. Super Saiyan Darmanitan. This was so much better than Alt going on a villain arc. Yeah, I kind of actually prefer this. I know some people were thinking maybe he's secretly working for the Explorers, but this pretty much like completely threw that theory in the trash. He's clearly, you know, he's clearly on the good side. He has morals. He has standards. By the way, welcome in. How are you doing today? Dot hacks and watches what the Explorers are doing when they are not looking. She'd have to go through Agate though, because Agate was kind of monitoring the whole situation. That's the only thing. That's the only liar there. Watch Alt thinks Dot's a boy. Maybe, I don't know. Anipoke fans are a different breed. Yeah. Let's just be real. It doesn't matter how good an episode is. There's always gonna be arguments online. It's just how it be. I mean, I have my own criticisms with it too. I mean, that's kind of the whole point of my channel is, you know, to critique. But, you know, some people take things too far. You know how it is in this community. Liko just sneezes in an episode and that causes a controversy with some people. Would she be able to hack into security cameras? Possibly. I don't know. There doesn't seem to be any indication that Dot hacked into the system in this episode. more so just talking with her and be like, yeah, this is what we're doing. We found this Exceed, testing center. We're gonna go investigate. I'm good. How are you? I am doing all right. It is a lovely day today. I'm gonna go and once this stream's over, go get some lunch and then maybe take a walk or something. It's a really nice day. Want to enjoy it. I feel like Sableye should get Shadow Claw. I mean, it could. It still could. It might not, but it could. Do you think Liko and Dot will gain a different battle mechanic in a future episode? Mega Evolution or Z-Moves? I'm probably going to say no. I don't think Z-Moves are going to be a thing in this series. We haven't even had an incentive to go to Alola. Unless, there's something going on Alola with, Requiem. Pokemon, going crazy on Requiem somewhere. I mean, as of right now, the current regions we haven't really explored in the series. We haven't gone to Hoenn. Or Sinnoh, or Unova. Unova might be coming with Blueberry Academy, though. Kalos, that was off-screen with Roy, and then Alola. Kanto, Johto, Galar, and Paldea, and then Kitakami are, the only regions that we've, explored in the series so far. I just don't see, a Z-Moves being a thing. Unless, they go to Alola and, a character uses it or something. They're going to have to tiptoe in Alola, though, because they're going to have to not come across any characters that we know of or find some original characters, because that's what the series has been doing. It's been tiptoeing around past characters. The Lance Simps in the next episode are probably the closest that we come from a character from a prior series being mentioned or showing up. Unless you want to count the Hunter or whatever it is, or Hiker, excuse me, and Galar showing up between series. What will you have for lunch? I don't know, Sharon. I haven't figured that out yet. Liquid Dynamax Hatteran. Speaking of Dynamax, they didn't even bother to show that in the series. 4 out of 9 regions. I mean, this whole plot with the Requiem and Pokemon randomly across the world being affected by it, that does give us the incentive to go to other regions and kind of explore. I've always said that if you're going to go to Hoenn, meet with Xenia, the, Rayquaza girl. That's a good way to actually bring her into the series and maybe get some more information on Rayquaza, but I kind of feel like the ship has sailed with that. I swear if that actually happens, that'd be a big. But yeah. Sango really crashed out like Yugi versus Weevil when she attacked Roy after the battle. A little bit, yeah. Kabu should have used Dynamax on his Centiskorch to teach the kids about Dynamaxing. Yeah, but it would have also been overkill. Be like, yeah, let me Dynamax my Pokemon and just stomp out your Pokemon. The only time we all really saw Dynamax going on in battles in the previous series was 2 Pokemon Dynamaxing or Gigantamaxing or whatever. Alright guys, we are getting close to the 1.5 hour mark. Usually about this point we're kind of wrapping things up, so is there anything else you guys have for me today before we get on out of here? Remember, if you haven't already, hit that like button. Likes really do help spread the channel around and the stream around, so I'd really appreciate it if you liked the video. I imagine you've all subbed, but if you haven't subbed already, you should probably do that. And just hang out with us. We do this all the time. As much as I can. We're back to regular schedule now, so we should be back doing 12 12 p.m. Eastern Time Zone or noon Eastern Time Zone. Unless something comes up, because it is summer coming up, so I'll be busy sometimes on the weekend, so might have to arrange our streams around, my busy schedule, but for now we'll be back to noon streams. Also, remember to vote in the poll. We have 25 votes, and a lot of people seem to like this episode, because 10-9 has 72% of the votes. Runner-up is 8-7 with 24%, and somebody did not like this episode and gave it a lower than 5 score. Was that you, Nick? Bye-bye. Alright. See you later, Super Saiyan Darmanitan. Thank you for checking out the stream. Hopefully we'll see you in the next one. I'll be here for the 96 review. Yep. Cool. Should be doing that around this time next week. So, anything else you guys got for me today? The floor is yours, chat. As we listen to this Yoshi's Island lo-fi remix. I don't recall any Pokemon lo-fis today showing up. Will you do a Pokemon Horizons video during the week break? I don't know, Sharon. A lot of my stuff is very much unplanned, so it's gonna depend. If we get episode titles and summaries, then sure. It also could give me some time to work on, the Rayquaza Rising arc, which that's not gonna be done in a single day, just a reminder. That's going to take me a while to do, so I'll say that again. That video will be ready when it's ready. Even if it's not ready by the end of this month. It will come when it's ready. But I could also use that time to work on the Arvin joke video. So we'll see. But just know that when we have the week break, we won't have a stream that day. That will be a day off. Anything else, guys? Going once. Going twice. Alright, guys, I think we're going to go ahead and bring this stream to a close. We've been going on for almost an hour and a half now. Crazy. I believe the last week in May we'll have titles for June. More than likely. Usually by the time we are at one episode that we know of. Like pretty much after this upcoming week. Anytime between then and the week before the episode, or episode 97 is out. We'll probably get at least an episode title or two or something like that. So it's going to be coming soon. In the next 2 weeks, I'd say. Next 2 weeks, I'd say. We'll probably have an episode title or two or there. Thank you. Anyways, we're going to wrap this stream up. We're going to end the poll. We got 25 votes, 10-9-1. You guys like the episode, I see. I still think the episode is maybe a 7 or an 8 for me. How about we meet halfway and say 8.5? Sound good? I think that sounds good. Alright, y'all. We're going to wrap things up here. I've said that probably several times already, but we're actually wrapping up for real now. So, yeah. If you are here, thank you so much for joining me, guys. I hope you have a great rest of the day, the rest of the weekend. I hope you, take some time to enjoy some time off if you're off for the weekend before going back to school or work or whatever you do. I mean, obviously, if you have work, maybe check the stream out after your shift is done. But anyways, guys, that's it for today's stream. So Thank you so much for joining me, guys. I hope you have a great rest of the day or night wherever you're at. Rest of the weekend as well. And I will see you all later. Bye, guys. Bye, all. Bon voyage. See you all later. Alrighty, on the stream now. Bye, everyone.